Really cheap, really cute. Oh my gosh, I love this.
At its peak, the company had more than 800 physical stores and over $4 billion in sales. But now, the fast fashion kingpin is toppling from competition within its own industry. The company has filed for bankruptcy for the second time, forcing it to shutter stores across the U.S. and lay off hundreds of employees.
If you were a teen back in 2010, you definitely remember those bright yellow shopping bags. The massive Forever 21 stores took over entire sections of malls, blasting music while crowds lined up for fitting rooms packed with trendy crop tops, flashy accessories, and bodycon dresses. At its height, Forever 21 wasn't just a brand, it was a global powerhouse. Over 800 stores in 48 countries, 43,000 employees, and an empire worth billions. The Chang family, Korean immigrants who started with just $11,000 after arriving in Los Angeles, built it all from the ground up, an incredible story of hustle and ambition. By 2015, Do Won and Jin Suk Chang had reached a reported net worth of nearly $6 billion, ranking among the richest Korean Americans in the U.S. They held full ownership of the company, turning down outside investors and offers to go public, keeping total control of their fashion empire. But as competition rose and fast fashion began to shift, Forever 21's reign started to crumble. And by 2025, every U.S. store had reportedly shut its doors.
The difference with Forever 21 is that when retailers like them came along, they were on top of the latest trends and styles much faster than retailers had been in the past.
Stay tuned as we dig into how this global phenomenon rose to fame and fell just as fast. Subscribe to Clodish for more deep dives into the biggest brand stories ever. Do Won Chang reportedly ran Forever 21 with total focus and control. As CEO, he was known for personally approving every store lease, even after the brand passed 500 locations. He was said to review every detail, from executive expenses down to the smallest receipts. His private office sat on the top floor of headquarters, where access was limited and meetings stayed quiet behind closed doors. Meanwhile, Jin Suk Chang was the creative mind behind the brand's signature style. As Chief Merchandising Officer, she led the design and buying teams, shaping Forever 21's bold and fast-paced image that defined mall fashion for a generation. Outside of business, the family's main known property was their Beverly Hills home, purchased in 2008 for around $7.5 million, and now estimated to be worth over $20 million. Reports indicate they didn't splurge on yachts or private jets. Instead, Do Won was known for reinvesting profits back into the company to keep growing the empire. The Chang family's fortune was almost completely tied to Forever 21, a choice that would later prove risky. From 2005 to 2015, the brand dominated teen fashion, ranking among the top choices for young shoppers across the U.S.
But even under new ownership, Forever 21 was up against a different challenge. Asian e-commerce powerhouses like Shein and Temu, which utilize thousands of factories in China to pump out new products at even lower prices.
Forever 21 ultimately was undermined by companies like Shein that can do it faster and cheaper.
With prime spots in high-traffic malls and famous locations like New York's Fifth Avenue and Times Square, Forever 21 became a cultural symbol of fast, affordable style. One detail that stood out was the Bible verse John 3:16, printed on every shopping bag, a personal touch that reflected the founders' faith and values, blending business with belief. Their story started humbly. Do Won Chang was born in South Korea in 1954 and grew up during a challenging time for the country. To help support his family, he worked small jobs and eventually moved to Los Angeles, where he and his wife, Jin Suk, a trained hairdresser with a sharp eye for trends, began building their dream from scratch. Their rise from modest beginnings to a global fashion empire remains one of the most remarkable retail success stories ever. In the early 1980s, South Korea faced major uncertainty, and the Changs decided it was time to start fresh abroad. In 1981, Do Won and Jin Suk Chang landed in Los Angeles after a brief stop in Hawaii, carrying just $11,000 in savings, limited English skills, and big dreams for a new life. Life in America wasn't easy at first. Do-won reportedly worked up to 19 hours a day, juggling jobs at a cafe, a gas station, and even cleaning offices late into the night, all while earning just a few dollars an hour. Jin Suk supported the household by working as a hairdresser, steadily helping to keep their vision alive. One day at the gas station, Do-won noticed something that changed everything. Many of the people driving luxury cars happened to work in the garment business. Curious and inspired, he started asking questions and soon realized that fashion could be his pathway to success. That single observation sparked the beginning of what would become the Forever 21 story. Do-won Chang's curiosity about the fashion industry soon paid off. He landed a job at a local clothing store and worked with incredible dedication, later recalling, "I treated it as if it were my own business." That drive quickly set him apart and gave him a front-row view of how Los Angeles' booming garment district operated in the early 1980s. Surrounded by a strong network of Korean-American entrepreneurs, manufacturers, and suppliers, Chang learned everything, from spotting fashion trends to managing wholesale deals and retail margins. After 3 years of relentless saving, he and Jin Suk had built up $11,000, every dollar earned through pure determination. In April 1984, they took the leap, investing it all to open a tiny 900-square-foot shop called Fashion 21 in Highland Park, Los Angeles. The store's location was strategic, right in the heart of a lively Korean-American community. They offered trendy designs inspired by South Korean fashion at affordable prices, and within the first year, sales exploded to $700,000. The Changs worked long hours themselves, learning every side of the business, from customers' tastes to managing inventory, setting the stage for a global fashion empire. Faith played a big role in the Changs' lives from the very beginning. They were known to attend early morning church prayers almost daily, a habit they reportedly kept even as their success skyrocketed. In 1987, they rebranded Fashion 21 into Forever 21, marking a major turning point for the company. Do-won once explained the meaning behind the name. Older people want to be 21 again, and young people want to be 21 forever. That message instantly connected with shoppers of all ages and helped the brand expand far beyond its Korean-American roots. By 1989, Forever 21 opened its first mall-based store in Panorama City, California, nearly 6 times larger than the original shop. As mall culture exploded in the US, the Changs grew their business rapidly through the 1990s, opening new stores every few months using only reinvested profits to stay independent. Their growth hit new levels in 2005 with the $33 million purchase of Gadzooks, doubling their store count to 400. The Changs' smart real estate strategy turned empty department stores into huge Forever 21 mega locations, including the iconic 4-story Times Square flagship with over 150 fitting rooms. Forever 21's expansion reached massive heights, literally. Its Las Vegas location spanned an incredible 127,000 square feet, nearly the size of a full Target superstore. The largest store ever built stretched to 162,000 square feet, complete with marble floors, chandeliers, and sweeping staircases. Luxury touches for a brand known for $5 fashion finds. By 2015, Forever 21 operated 794 stores across 48 countries with around 43,000 employees and an estimated $4.4 billion in annual revenue. The very first Highland Park store even stayed open until 2020, still proudly carrying the original Fashion 21 name, a sentimental nod to where it all began. Even as the empire grew, Do-won Chang personally approved every store lease, a sign of how deeply involved he remained. His daughters, Linda and Esther, were reportedly being prepared to take over leadership, though full control remained with their parents. Between 2007 and 2019, the company faced several high-profile lawsuits from designers and brands over alleged design similarities, many of which were settled privately. These legal battles, combined with other operational challenges, reportedly cost the company tens of millions, marking the start of a more difficult era for Forever 21. In the early 2000s, Forever 21 began facing growing challenges behind the scenes. In 2001, garment workers reportedly organized a national boycott raising concerns about working conditions. Later, in 2017, a U.S. Department of Labor review of Los Angeles factories that supplied the brand found multiple labor violations and ordered over $1.3 million in back wages and damages, though Forever 21 itself was not directly accused of operating those factories. As the company expanded, Do-won and Jin Suk's daughters, Linda and Esther Chang, were positioned as the next generation of leadership. Both were Ivy League graduates with experience in different areas of the business. Linda as executive vice president and board member, and Esther as vice president of merchandising. However, reports suggest that Do-won and Jin Suk continue to oversee all major decisions, keeping tight control over the brand's direction. In 2015, as Forever 21's financial pressure increased, the couple reportedly borrowed funds from their daughter's personal trusts under family arrangements, which some analysts later described as creating complicated financial overlaps. These internal dynamics reflected the family's deep personal involvement, both the strength and strain of running a global empire built entirely on trust and loyalty. In 2019, pop star Ariana Grande filed a $10 million lawsuit against Forever 21, alleging the company used a look-alike model and styling similar to her Seven Rings music video without permission. Reports claim that the brand had once considered partnering with Grande years earlier, but ultimately chose a different artist for its campaigns. Experts later pointed out that Forever 21's downfall reflected deeper management issues. Professor Eric Gordon from the University of Michigan described it as a case of founder overconfidence, noting that the lack of an independent board left leadership without crucial reality checks. At the same time, Forever 21's massive international expansion was spinning out of control. Between 2005 and 2015, the brand jumped from 7 to 262 overseas stores, a staggering leap that proved too costly. Many international locations, especially in Europe and Asia, reportedly struggled with high operating costs and lower sales than expected. By 2018, Forever 21 began pulling out of multiple markets, including Canada and several European countries. Analysts said the company underestimated local market differences, from shopping habits to retail regulations, turning what looked like global success into a financial strain. By 2018, Forever 21 was falling behind in the digital race. Online sales made up only about 16% of its revenue, while competitors were earning nearly double or more through e-commerce. The company's systems didn't connect online and in-store inventories, meaning shoppers couldn't easily find items that were sold out in one location but available elsewhere. In an industry built on speed, Forever 21's supply chain took around 20 weeks to move new designs from concept to store shelves, nearly 3 times slower than rivals like H&M. Major consulting firms, including McKinsey and Bain, were brought in to help streamline operations and reduce costs, but reports say many of their recommendations went largely unimplemented. Meanwhile, Forever 21 was burdened by hundreds of oversized retail spaces that became expensive to maintain as mall traffic declined. Consumer trends also shifted fast. Shoppers were gravitating toward digital-first, inclusive, and eco-conscious brands that emphasized authenticity and quality over quantity. By September 2019, Forever 21 filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, citing more than $1.5 billion in debt. It marked a dramatic turning point for one of America's most iconic fast fashion empires. In 2019, Forever 21 announced plans to close stores in 40 countries and up to 178 locations across the U.S. as part of its bankruptcy restructuring. The move was meant to stabilize the business, but it only delayed the company's full collapse by a few years. Major markets, including Germany, Spain, France, Japan, Canada, and Australia, were among those Forever 21 exited completely. By February 2020, a new chapter began when a consortium made up of Authentic Brands Group, Simon Property Group, and Brookfield Property Partners purchased Forever 21's operating assets for about $81 million. That was a staggering drop from its reported $4.4 billion valuation just a few years earlier. The sale officially ended the Chang family's control over the brand they had built from scratch. Duan and Jin Suk Chang were required to hand over management authority, closing the book on an extraordinary rise and fall story that spanned more than 3 decades of fast fashion dominance. By the end, the Chang family no longer held any control or ownership in Forever 21. Their daughter's $10 million loan to the company was classified as unsecured, and they reportedly recovered less than 20% of it. Despite several years of restructuring, Forever 21 never managed to bounce back. In 2023, the fast fashion giant Shine acquired a 1/3 stake in the brand's parent company, Spark Group, launching pop-ups and cross-platform listings between the two retailers. But according to reports, the partnership didn't bring the results either side hoped for. Payment delays to overseas manufacturers grew, and by early 2025, Forever 21 began closing all remaining stores across the US. By April 2025, the once mighty chain had officially shut down all 354 American locations, marking the final chapter of a retail empire that had defined a generation of mall culture. From humble beginnings at a small Los Angeles storefront to a billion-dollar empire, Forever 21's story remains one of ambition, family, and lessons learned the hard way. Don't forget to subscribe to Cluedish for more deep dives into the rise and fall of the world's most unforgettable brands.